Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. And hey, it was a hump morning this morning. My alarm went off, and I was like, what? Why did I set the alarm? And then I realized it's Monday, and I had to get up. Uh, so it is currently 49 degrees, going to be a high of around 55. So it's a little bit chilly, rainy. It's going to be a rainy day. 50% chance of rain or so throughout the day, so it's probably going to be a wet one. Sunrise is at 6:54 and sunset is at 6:16. So not more darkness than daylight. So we're gonna make a shift in our study, in our devotional, and we're gonna look at Second Peter or Second John. I'm sorry, Second John, the letter of Second John, and then we have been doing a topical study during the devotional, but this time we're just gonna exposit Second John, and and the reason being is because I've never really heard this preached from the pulpit before. So I'm just, and as I start reading it, I find out why right away. Okay, so I was looking at a couple commentaries, and uh, right in the first verse, the elder, which is presbyteros, that elder is the church leader, the pastor, to the elect lady and her children. All right, so the elect lady, um, ekletos kuria. Now that word uh, comes from kyria, and it's a feminine word. So one of the one commentator, MacArthur, thinks it's a specific lady, right? In his commentary in his study Bible, he says it's a specific lady and her children who John loves in the truth. Another commentary thinks that, or says that, and there's essentially two camps on this. Um, that it's the elect lady is a particular church, and the children, her children, are the people of the church. And because it's written in the second person, right? And that this is what this commentary uses as its evidence. It's written in the second person. The word kyria, where kuria comes from, is it's used in a specific. Um, it's referred to a social subunit in the Greek city state. That's so it's cultural. It's a cultural word that's used as a subunit. So it's a subunit of a class of women, right? That it's used in the city state. So it's this is these children are a subunit or of the people, right? So a separated group of people. So the cultural nuance from the word, and then they also look at in the writings. So like verse 5, and now I ask you, dear lady, not as though I were writing you um, a new commandment, but one that we have had from the beginning, that we love each other. That we love each other. And that commentary is saying, like, it doesn't seem fitting for John to be speaking to a woman, a woman like that, um, from as his role as pastor leadership, and her role in um, at all, right? It's too familiar, right? It's too familiar, and so it would make more sense for that to be a church, right? The people of the church. He's supposed to love the church, and the church is supposed to love him. So that's where I guess confusion can come or not. But what I say is always fall back to a literal interpretation, okay? Unless unless the context of the letter, right? And so this letter is they say written around between 85 and 90, um, from near or around Ephesus. All right, they both the commentaries that I looked at, both say that it's written before Patmos, before um, before 95 when he writes Revelation. Okay, and so um, what what's the context of the writing? Okay, so when we look at that, well, let's reserve judgment. Let's keep going and see what we think after we dig through some of this. So truth, whom I love in truth, aletheia. Now, truth, when it's written like this, um, is typically refers to the truth of the gospel. Okay, the truth of the gospel. So the elder to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth. Okay, so all who know the truth, okay, should um, love in truth. Okay, so the elder to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth, should love the elect lady and her children. Okay, because of the truth that abides in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father's Son, in truth and love. Notice truth and love, truth goes with love an awful lot. And so because the truth abides in us and will be with us forever. So this is that truth of the love of Jesus Christ, the truth of the gospel. Okay, the gospel message, that truth is in us, it abides, right? It stays with us, and it will be with us forever. Forever, not just forever while we're here in this world, but forever in eternal life. That truth stays with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father's Son, in truth, which abides with us forever, and love. And then, so that's a big greeting that John uses before he even gets into the body of the letter. And so, looking at it and the references to truth, the references to love, and it says, not only I, but all who know the truth. So when it's written like that, and the way he uses know the truth, right? Whom I love in truth, right? So it's not a it's a personal love, right? That he has for this elect lady and her children, but it's also a shared love, right? It's a plural love, that agape love. Not only I, but also all who know the truth. So in the context, when looking at it, and how it's addressed, I personally lean more towards the camp that this is a particular church, and her children are the people. Okay, now here's what I do know. There's so many times that the scriptures, because God's bigger than this pragmatic linear thinking that we're accustomed to. It is possible that it has a dual meaning, right? It is possible that it has a dual meaning. I do think, though, where I land on this in this case is that this is in reference to a particular church, right? A church, an elect lady, a set apart subordinate, a set apart subunit, and somebody who, in being that it's in the female, and ecclesia, the word for church, is also in female because it's supposed to be in submission to the Lord and her children, whom I love in the truth. I think it's a congregation. I think it's a church. Okay, I think it's a church and her children, whom he loves in truth, and that truth is the gospel message.